14 at the time when I first heard the record, and I was a big fan of Max Roach even then.
You consider this music as a weapon?
I mean, he's one of my biggest influences on the instrument, so it was important for me to check that record out because, I've already known of Max Roach, the drummer, but, upon doing further research, the more I grew up, I guess you might say I just became a lot more curious in his creative output as an artist. I mean, because I know he was a long time, forever advocate for social justice, particularly for Black Americans and people who were, dealing with, abhorrent racism and a lot of other things, that were happening in the country, during the time that, during the bebop age and, even before that. But, he's very much a person who really stood his ground for us having the proper justice served to us as people and as humans. And so I already knew of his work in that regard, and so that led me to his composition work and his compositions, and the way that he puts music together, the way that he kind of creates these essentially soundtracks, for our lives, really, and that are dedicated to us and are for us rather than, necessarily just about us.
But we're almost known for our signature series, which is called Take Two. The concept is very simple. We work with one musician. We ask them one question, like what is one album that you love? They pick whatever record they want. We don't influence them in any way. And then they get to reinterpret their record in also any way that they see fit. Like it can be a strict reinterpretation, almost a cover, or they can just take a few riffs of the record and just improvise on top of it.
The Strata East record label kind of was born on this record, Members Don't Get Weary, because it was a record that featured Stanley Cowell and Charles Tolliver. And we had an amazing time coming to the UK and playing in France as well with this all-star group which featured Gene Khan and Stanley Cowell, the late Stanley Cowell. And Charles Tolliver's in town, and I called him up yesterday because he's playing tomorrow at Winter Jazz, and I said, we're doing this thing today, will you come up and say hello and listen to Tyshawn's version of this incredible record? And he said he would do, so he's going to join me now.
And as you know, I've told you many times, I fell in love with London, with Max during that period. And so he made a decision that he wanted to also have vocal on there. And Andy Bay did a wonderful job. So since we had been performing those songs, on the road, we went in and it was done in one take. And I must say, of course, my beloved Stanley Cowell, we were brothers, we just were born from different mothers.
And so it feels very late 60s. It feels like it's a really you can really tell it was that time. There's that energy, there's that ambition, there's the youth, because he was very hip to get the younger musicians in. So there was the training, but there was the energy, and there was the master in the back. And so, as a result, it's an absolute no-nonsense classic record. That's it.
Members don't get weary. Members don't get weary.
We met at the first rehearsal when Max Roach put together that quintet. The vision of Strahd to the East came because we didn't want to, even though we had made some recordings, we didn't want to, as we say, queue up in line to be offered a record or recording or contract or whatever. And so it was the desire.
Nat is still, drawing from his heritage and drawing from his own being and really putting that into music and giving it the most human kind of quality that you can give the music. I mean, I think that's, astounding, to have heard that record at that age and to come to it all these years later and to have been asked, I almost was hesitant to do it because, it's such a perfect recording, as I said. It's, but at the same time, I chose to do it because, one, it is one of my favorite Max Roach records of all time, and two, I wanted to do this to honor his legacy and as a way to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to do this, because were it not for his artistry and were it not for the artistry of all of the musicians on that record, we wouldn't be doing this. We wouldn't even be here making music. I'm really glad that this has now come to fruition, and so I hope to in the future do another one of these Take Two series, and I guarantee the next one is going to be hopefully better. And but we've really had we've had a blast here, and I just couldn't be more fraught with a lot of good feelings, big feelings, and just looking forward to where this project's going to go, because it's going to go beyond this. We're not going to just do this reading and then that's it. We're gonna definitely expand and develop this work.